Good morning. I have two questions. I only have 3 minutes, but I'll see if I can get them in. One for buy now, pay later, and one for the cryptocurrency industry. First for buy now, pay later. So Governor Hochul just introduced in the budget language this year a buy now, pay later licensing program. So, very innovative to be able to do so so relatively early. A couple of concerns that I have with the industry, maybe, Penny or Phil, you guys could talk about this, is concerned about now we see that the percentage of people that use buy now, pay later are under 25, and we're concerned about easy, debt collection for younger people. Also concerned about, overdraft and difficulty for returns, right? So if someone is using, buy now, pay later for a company like a firm, how do you, if you want to return it, how do you communicate with the underlying merchant?
I'll jump in just because there's a specific question I can answer, starting from the most last to the recent. So for a firm, we support the consumer throughout the full process, including a return or a dispute. As it works now, as in any other credit product, the return is governed by the merchant's policies, similar if you would pay cash or credit. However, if a merchant is unresponsive or unwilling to work with the consumer, although for a firm, most of these disputes are resolved directly with the consumer and the merchant. But when that's not the case, the consumer can escalate to us to resolve the issue, and we'll reach out to the merchant and escalate it to the point where we can open a dispute. And if a dispute is opened, the consumer is not responsible for any payments until it's resolved. So they're not on the hook if they're opening up a dispute with the merchant. So that's kind of baked into our process. Just to start from where you started in terms of the current proposal, I think the credit reporting aspect was our biggest concern that we've covered, and I won't waste the 3 minutes going over that. But it's also the licensing, and I would, going back to my earlier comment, is if we look to states that have already done this, and I say not to just model it after what somebody else did, but just look at the historical record of what's worked for consumers, what's worked for the industry. If we could model it toward the California CFL, that's a licensing regime that works. The one that's currently proposed almost reaches the level of bank level, but without providing any of the privileges or benefits of being a bank. But it's the cost, compliance is very similar. So I'll pass it to Phil for anything to add.
No. You don't have. If you want to jump into crypto, I'm happy to.
Sorry. Yeah. So that's right. I only have a few seconds left. But in New York State is the financial capital of the world, and I'm going to hold that and make sure that we stay that way. Very important to make sure that we have a burgeoning crypto financial industry that's responsible in New York State. Just recently, like last year, we provided and made sure that DFS, which is one of the most respected regulators in the world with respect to in this space, we gave them resources in order to go through the licenses and have the staff to be able to go over the BIT license. And we think that, it's one of the best regulations in the country to be able to protect folks from what the worst of what's been happening in the industry. Have you guys applied? Has Anchorage applied for the process? What's the process been? Also, how many people do you have working in New York State, and are they New Yorkers?
Sure. Excellent question. And the BIT license is the oldest crypto regulation, I think, in the world. And a great deal of foresight was put into that. And it has ensured that there are responsible players in New York. Over the past 2 years, I believe that there were 6 BIT licenses granted to various types of entities that engage in virtual currency transactions. Anchorage has applied for that license. We applied in December of 2021. For us, it's really important for us to be able to provide brokerage services, that is the buying and selling of assets, to our institutional clients within, under that licensure. Today, we're able to service 49 other states, but not clients for trading within the state of New York, though we are able to offer custody services within qualified custody through our OCC charter. Right now, Anchorage Digital has nearly 50 employees in New York. We have a cute little office right on Park Avenue and 33rd Street. We employ compliance professionals, engineers, people in product. So these are professional jobs, high-tech jobs. We love operating out of New York. It affords us to tap into the New York talent pool, which has been a big success for us. So it's been a long process for us to obtain our license. We remain committed and we remain hopeful for that. We believe that we meet the high standards set forth by the New York DFS, and really remain ready to provide services in New York.